everyone and welcome back, Jungkook fans. Today we're talking about a moment that quietly changed the global conversation. No headlines screaming, no noise, just a name appearing where it truly matters. Jungkook has been recognized among the world's most influential figures, standing alone in a space few ever reach. What does this recognition really mean, and why is the world paying attention now more than ever? Stay with us, because this is not just another achievement, this is a moment that defines an era. There are moments when the global spotlight quietly shifts, when recognition arrives not through noise, but through meaning. This is one of those moments. Jungkook has been officially named on AOL's 15 Global Icons list, a list that doesn't celebrate popularity alone, but influence that crosses borders, cultures, and entire industries. This list brings together figures from politics, arts, sports, and business, individuals whose presence shapes conversations worldwide. And among all of them, Jungkook stands alone, not just as a musician, not just as an artist, but as the only Asian figure recognized on this global stage. What makes this moment powerful isn't the title itself, it's what the title represents. Global icon is not given for trending numbers or temporary hype. It reflects sustained impact, the kind that changes how the world listens, watches, and responds. Jungkook's influence has grown far beyond music charts, reaching fashion, culture, identity, and global youth movements. From Seoul to New York, from Paris to Sao Paulo, his name carries weight. Not because it is loud, but because it resonates. His artistry speaks across languages, his image transcends geography, and his presence connects people who may share nothing else in common, except understanding who Jungkook is. Being the only Asian included is not a small detail, it's the core of this recognition. It highlights a shift in the global narrative, a moment where Asian representation is not added as a category, but placed naturally among the world's most influential figures. No labels, no exceptions, just impact. Jungkook's journey has always been defined by quiet consistency, discipline over spectacle, depth over noise. And this recognition reflects that exact path. He didn't chase global influence, it followed him. Through authenticity, through growth, through an ability to remain human in an industry that often demands perfection. What we're witnessing now is not a peak, it's a confirmation. A confirmation that Jungkook's presence matters on a global scale, that his voice carries meaning beyond music, that his influence shapes how the world views modern artists and modern icons. This moment belongs not only to Jungkook, but to millions who see themselves reflected in his rise. It signals that global influence no longer flows in one direction. It moves freely across continents, cultures, and generations. And as the world continues to redefine what a global icon truly looks like, Jungkook isn't following the definition, he's rewriting it. What makes this recognition even more compelling is the timing. In an era where global influence is constantly measured, analyzed, and debated, Jungkook's name appears not as a statistic, but as a symbol of how modern influence is built organically, emotionally, and across platforms without losing authenticity. Unlike traditional global figures who rise through institutions or political power, Jungkook's influence comes from connection. Millions don't just follow him, they relate to him. His presence feels personal, even at a global scale, and that paradox is exactly what defines today's most powerful icons. This acknowledgement places Jungkook in conversations far beyond entertainment. It aligns him with figures who shape thought, culture, and direction, people who move markets, inspire movements, and redefine identity in real time. And yet Jungkook remains grounded in the artistry that started it all. There is also an unspoken weight to being the only Asian on such a list. It carries responsibility and representation. It challenges outdated perceptions of where influence comes from and who gets to hold it. Jungkook doesn't just occupy space, he expands it. His global recognition is not the result of a single achievement, but a series of moments that accumulated into something undeniable. Every stage performance, every creative choice, every quiet evolution contributed to this point. Influence, after all, is built slowly and lasts because it's real. As industries continue to shift and audiences become more global than ever, figures like Jungkook redefine leadership. Not through authority, but through presence. Not through control, but through inspiration. And perhaps that's why this moment feels different. It doesn't announce an arrival, it confirms a reality the world has already been living in. Jungkook is not becoming a global icon. He already is. This recognition also reframes how influence is defined in the digital age. Jungkook's impact does not rely on constant visibility or controversy, it thrives in moments of sincerity. When he appears, the world pauses, not because it is told to, but because it wants to. That kind of attention cannot be manufactured. What separates Jungkook from many global figures is the balance he maintains between distance and closeness. He is globally untouchable, yet emotionally accessible. Fans don't feel spoken at, they feel understood. And that emotional literacy is a rare form of power, one that quietly shapes culture without demanding it. The global response to his recognition reflects this perfectly. Across different regions, languages, and generations, the reaction has been the same: recognition, not surprise. For many, this moment simply puts words to something that has long been evident. Jungkook's presence has already influenced how artists debut, how brands collaborate, and how global audiences engage with Asian creatives. There is also a legacy being formed here. Years from now, this acknowledgement will be referenced not as a milestone, but as a turning point. A point where global culture fully embraced a broader definition of influence, one that includes vulnerability, artistry, and authenticity. Jungkook's name on this list signals something larger than individual success. It reflects a shift in who gets seen, who gets heard, and who gets remembered. It suggests that global icons of the future will not be defined by origin or industry, but by resonance. And in that space where impact is felt rather than explained, Jungkook continues to exist naturally. No performance required, no validation needed, just presence and the undeniable weight of it. In many ways, this moment captures the quiet evolution of Jungkook's influence. It is not loud, not forced, but deeply rooted. His impact lives in the way people listen more closely, feel more deeply, and see possibility where limits once existed. That is the mark of a true global icon, not someone who demands attention, but someone who reshapes it simply by being present. If this moment made you feel proud, inspired, or even surprised, don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Jungkook updates and deep stories you won't find anywhere else, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching, Jungkook fans. Until next time, stay connected and keep the love alive.